Hello, good morning, and welcome to the second episode of CNews. Today we have with us Dr. Jyothi Kumar, Associate Professor, Department of Management Studies. Dr. Jyothi Kumar is also the coordinator of the Christ University Student Council, consisting of 55 students from both undergraduate and postgraduate students and over 150 members taking part from the deanery level. We now have a brief interview with her concerning what it takes to lead a group of young minds into becoming successful members of the Student Council. Good morning, ma'am. Welcome to CNews interview.
Good morning.
Firstly, we would like to start off with a very basic question. What was the main objective behind the Student Council?
We started thinking about this council about 5 years ago. The main objective was to ensure that the entire student community of Christ University imbibes the core values of Christ University, its vision and mission. Apart from this, the objective was to ensure that there is an academic rigor while on campus to enhance the academic life, the quality of student life on campus, also to liaison and link between various centers in order to enable students participate in more activities in terms of NCCs or CSA activities, etc. Generally, we thought that this council should enable holistic development of students.
Nextly, we would like to see how do the demands of the undergraduate students differ from that of postgraduate students?
If you look at it as, I don't know, I've not found it too different from the undergraduate requirement to the postgraduate requirement, but definitely yes, the postgraduate students are a little more inclined towards placements, and they want, because they've already decided what their career has to be. So in those lines, I think the postgraduate students have been demanding that their education will build or bridge the gap between what the industry wants to what we have to offer. At the UG level, yes, the students are still deciding on a career, and to them, I think we've catered equally to the requirement of both UG and PG, but I find the postgraduate students are a little more inclined towards placements.
Okay. And ma'am, then in terms of the student council, what qualities do you all look for when you all are picking members to represent the council?
First of all, be it a student council or in any office, the first thing what is required is a passion to connect. And if you do not have the passion to connect, you cannot lead the 16,000 students on campus. So first of all, what is required is you should be able to network. You should be able to mobilize the requirement of yours. So we're not looking at a 90, 100 percentile student, but we're looking at somebody who can have an equal balance between academics to co-curriculars to extracurriculars, because it's only then that he can connect and network with the students and work towards it. So the quality, first of all, is that passion and that commitment to do whatever he has to do, because being in the council, he has to put his heart and soul into work, because he gets to represent the deanery and the department. So we have only chosen 55 students of the 16,000 students on campus, which means he becomes a very, very important person in the in the deanery or in the student council. So what we want, what we are basically looking at is how each and every one in the student council can contribute back and make the entire objective realize. So that's what we're looking at.
Correct. And also, I think it would be extremely important for the student to be able to balance their lives, because we have a very rigorous academic life. So to be able to balance something extracurricular plus our academic daily schedules would be quite challenging.
I strongly feel balancing is all about managing time. So each one of us have the same amount of time available. It's just that how I prioritize and keep my things of urgent, important, very clear. So it is just that how I balance it and I prioritize to do things.
Correct. And ma'am, what are the 3 most important things for you with regard to education?
I strongly feel the student community today should believe in education.
Correct.
Because the trend is that, you know, that not many of them are taking it very seriously. So I would say, first of all, believe in education. Second of all, research is for everybody. So as students, we need to keep abreast with contemporary trends. And the third important thing is, I think, that openness to learning. So these are very important as students and education.
And what has been your most rewarding experience so far in Christ University?
A rewarding experience at Christ University are the challenges I have faced, both in terms of managing student community And I think what keeps me happy is that I have an attitude to work, and keeping myself busy is something which I like always, and connected with students. And I feel that will keep me young, that will keep me going, and that will keep me abreast with what is happening in the requirement of the youth. And I think the more you connect with the students, you will feel nice about it, and that's what has
You
kept
also
me
go
going.
back to your old days the more you interact with the younger generation.
Yes, but things have changed so much. I think it's been around maybe 17 years precisely that I'm out of college, but I still feel that every day is a new learning. So things have changed so much from the demands of today to what the demands were in my days. Things have changed so much, and I think it's quite a good challenge for academicians today to provide results.
And ma'am, did your college life play any part in building your role as the coordinator of the student council today?
I'm extremely happy to tell you that I'm a Christite, and I've been a Christite all through. I've done all my education at Christ University, including my PhD from here. So I have really understood the pulse of this university, erstwhile Christ College. So I feel that's an advantage to me, and that is helping me connect better with the students. So I've been in and out of this campus, I think now for the last 25 years, and that's quite a long time, and I wish to retire from students.
And ma'am, now again, since you've been involved with the student council for over 5 years now, how do you plan on upgrading yourself with regard to student council activities and
What
members?
we did initially before we started reconstitution, student council in Christ University is not very new. It's been around for at least 15-20 years now. But the last 5 years, we've changed the model of how it works. What we did initially when we started thinking of a reformation of or reconstitution of this is we went into international universities' website and found how they work. But definitely yes, an Indian education system cannot work like the West or whatever, but we understood what the model looks like and what is the connection that the student council can make to the students. So we did a little bit of research, and we've tried to kind of incorporate the best practices of international universities on campus, and I'm sure we've got a long way to go.
Okay, ma'am. Now, ma'am, your ongoing research paper is on skill development in higher education in India. So, how do you believe that a body of students like the Student Council Committee can help in such a development?
The crisis for us in India today is not unemployment. I believe the crisis is employability. When I say that, it is not that our students do not have a certificate of graduation or post-graduation, but it is that one thing which the industry is looking at, which maybe the students do not possess, and that is skill. And there's a lot of requirement in the industry in terms of skills and competence. So like I told you earlier, it is always interesting for me to work with the students and understand what the students require. This was a project which came through the Center for Research Projects, and I think my mentor, Dr. Jyothi Kumar, suggested that we do a project like this, which will be useful for the society. And that is where skill development as a project motivated me, or maybe I looked at it as a different concept, because then I can add value to whatever is done. Because today it is not completing the syllabus and finishing the course and leaving it at that, but it is something which I carry as a skill. So my research speaks about, if a student is doing an academic program with 5 or 6 subjects, apart from the academics and the syllabus, what additional skill can we develop to the students? Are we teaching the students accounting, or are we teaching the students accountability? Are you looking at the ethical part of it? Are you looking at integrity part of the student? Are you enabling your students work as teams, negotiate? Because today these are the things. Are the students able to critically evaluate situations? Are they able to make decisions out of creative solution finding? So these are the things which I thought was important. So what I have done in my project is to map requirements and see, if a student is graduating out of a science program, these are the skill sets required when a student graduates out of a science program. If a student is graduating out of a commerce course, these are the skill sets required. So I think I've been able to do justice to whatever I'm doing, and it will get published.
And also all these have been inculcated in the student council activities.
Absolutely. So these students, while they work as teams, while they come together, these are the things they're learning firsthand.
Correct.
And their duty now is to percolate it down the line to all students on campus.
Okay. Ma'am, now on a more lighter note, if you were given a free pass to spend your extra energies in an area of your choosing, what would you choose and how would it benefit the campus?
I would still want to go down to every single student and interact with the student community to find out what more are the challenges lying ahead.
Okay.
Because the success factor for any university is how the students perform. So if I really had some more free time and I had time which I want to use, I would definitely want to interact with more students, because that is where our learning is. And I always believed students are those who give us challenges, and if I'm able to perform, it is because of the challenges which I've got from the students. So I would definitely want to go back to that.
So you find it extremely important to interact and see what each student requires.
Absolutely.
To build on it and
Yes.
fix it eventually over
Yes,
time.
of course.
Okay, ma'am. So now this brings us to the end of our interview. But before we leave, we would like to know what word of advice would you like to give out to students and also as perhaps potential members of the student council?
Before I conclude, I thank you very much for the opportunity given. I don't know if the students would like advices, but one thing I want to tell the student community is to believe in themselves and take every opportunity as a challenge. And I think, as I told you earlier, it is essential that the students now start believing in education, because today I find with my experience that not many of them are very serious about it. You need to have an open mind. You have to create challenges for yourself. Okay, earlier we said challenges come from outside, but today it is within you. I think every student should have an open mind to learning. If there is a requirement to unlearn, you should be open to unlearn. If there is any relearning required, you should be able to relearn. So as long as we do this, I think there is quite a big world waiting outside for the students.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here with us today. This brings us to the end of episode 2. Have a good day.